early morning. Here in Arizona, it's 6:38, around there. So I know my West Coast friends are an hour behind, and everyone else on the East Coast can be up to a couple hours. Some challenges with the bus sometimes are last minute things, like I said yesterday, that you may not plan. You think you have a job to do, and then there's 10 steps more to do before you can finish the job. So I did get 2 boards up yesterday, but on the third board, I only had 2 lug nuts left. I believe they were the 2.5-inch ones, and they just weren't sucking the board down enough. And the other lug nuts that I have are 3 inches, I believe, or 3.5 inches, and they would go all the way through the window to the end of the bus. And they're just too long. Another one's too short, and then I have some other ones that are about the same length, but they're too wide. And I didn't have the right socket for those. So anyway, coming to Home Depot in the morning is pretty pleasant. This is one of my favorite stores. I go between Home Depot and Lowe's. So I'm looking for bolts and screws and that type of thing. I see the tools. Okay, I see that. Number 21 is going to be next. So I use all these lug nuts putting together the framing, except for the ones that were in the framing I just took out. Someone else had put that in, and so I have to replace it. But anyway, I get these here. I also like looking at their mistakes in the paint aisle. Sometimes they don't make any mistakes, but sometimes you get some really great mistakes. All right, so there's different kinds. There's stainless steel. Let's see, hex bolts. Lag screw is what that one says. 3-inch. Oh, $3 each. That's a kind of spendy. Those are stainless steel. Okay, so let's see. I am lag screws over here. These ones that look galvanized. Still not quite what I'm looking for. I know what it is once I see it. Hex bolts over here. Okay, this is looking a little more like it. Maybe that's what I have as zinc. I'm not sure. Let me see. These are all zinc as well. Oh, working on the bus in the early morning. Today's my son's birthday. He's 14. Happy birthday, Evan. I love you so much. I'm so excited to spend the day with you. I'm getting ready to go do a couple last minute things, and so I just wanted to grab these bolts while I'm out. And Evan and I are going to have a great day together today, celebrating his 14th birthday and being born, coming into this earth. He was due in April, and he was 9 weeks early. So he was a NICU baby. He couldn't breathe on his own, eat on his own. His hips were out of place. He had club feet. And he's a survivor. He's my little baby. I didn't even know I could have babies, and he's a miracle. I just love him so much. I never knew how much my heart could love until I became a parent. It really blows your heart wide open. Like, I'm serious. People would tell me that. And I never understood it until the day that my son was born, and I woke up from my surgery and I was a parent and he was alive. And God is glorious. God lets us become parents and have these children that we get to be in their lives and guide them, share God's love with them. When I worry now, my son tells me, trust in God, believe in God, and he reminds me of those things, and it's such a blessing. I'm so thankful for him. These lag screws are thicker. I should have brought in the one I was going to get. See, these ones are like super thick on the top, the heads of them, and I have to have an attachment for my drill to fit my socket. And that is not the right size. All right, these are the 2.5 inches. Oh, they're still pretty thick. Dang it. 2 inches. Yeah, those are too small. 2 inches. I need. Pretty sure it's a 3-inch. That's a smaller tip right there on the head. I know that's the right size. I do a lot of this by the feel. 3 inches looks good to me. I'm gonna grab 2 of those at 56 cents each. And I'm gonna go check out the mistakes in the paint. I like to get the little containers of paint for 50 cents or $2 if I can get a score. But like I said, I go in between here and Home Depot because, or I meant Lowe's. They each carry different things. Like my Milwaukee tools. Oh, I love Milwaukee. I love my Milwaukee drills. Here's some right here. Let's take a gander at these. I have a set of them, an impact drill and a drill, and I invested in those in the very beginning, and those have gotten me through so much. I just love them. And also, I got a Milwaukee grinder too. And that helps a lot to remove the seats in the beginning. And it helps a lot with bolts that you can't get loose, trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. But I like Milwaukee. Oh man, they have so many things. That is a dream aisle right there. I wish I had all those. Wouldn't that be awesome? Just to have a whole matching set. They had a Christmas tree in here during Christmas. And it had little Milwaukee gifts under it. It was precious. All right, so the paint mistakes. Let's see if I get lucky today. I'm hoping for something cool to add a different touch to the bus. Lowe's, I like to get my boards for the walls because they have them painted there. And they normally don't have them painted here. So there's just different things. And their Lowe's paint mistake thing isn't as inexpensive, I'll say that. Ooh, look at that color right there. I think I love that one. But let's see. Good morning. Long-lasting, low odor, ultra white, interior flat. So that would have to be inside. That's what I look for, is if you can do inside or outside. And I'm looking, I don't see a price on that one. I don't think I'm going to get that one anyhow. Not a whole lot of options. They got some display going on over here. This is the time to shop, really, is like in the early mornings when nobody's out. That's what I love. I live in a town where there are tons and tons of snowbirds. So if you go out in the afternoon, they are all out shopping. You can't find a parking spot. And I used to be a snowbird. Now I'm a local complaining about the snowbirds. It's funny. But no, you just have to know how to time it. And also with the hot weather, it's already 80 degrees this week in Arizona. So I have to pick my timing. It's got really hot in the bus yesterday in the afternoon, and I went in and took a nap. But Danny used to always tell me to keep the windows open and keep the airflow going. So I always remember to do that when I'm in there. And if it gets too hot, go lay down. But, excuse me. I'm going to go check out these lag screws and go finish up my shopping for Evan. So I just grabbed 2. This will be the finish of the wall. And I'll post it later. I still got to do the other boards that are going horizontal, I think. All right, these buckets come in handy if you have a schoolie. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Have a good day, everybody. God loves you. God's with you. God's part of you. God created you. And you're a creator with God as well, anytime you choose to be. All right, I love you so much. Bye.